Bitcoin short squeeze. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about potential Bitcoin short squeeze. To all those tuning in, smash that like button for me and welcome. Most importantly, make sure to watch to the end of the video because I will be giving you a quick alpha play on a meme token, and that's the kind of thing you like to play with. Anyways, talking about a potential Bitcoin short squeeze, and the reason why I'm talking about this is due to the fact that Bitcoin has actually been consolidating around this range for about 40 days at around the $40,000 Bitcoin, right? Which, if you go ahead and zoom out, we haven't really had any real consolidation with Bitcoin, right? With that being said, I personally feel like, the fact that, $43,000 is not the top. And the reason why I say that is because not only have we now been consolidating in this range at the $40,000 Bitcoin, but we're also seeing the DXY potentially, in my opinion, seeing some sort of reversal back to some sort of support. And I think we could go ahead and see it fall back to 102. Typically, if you go ahead and look back with the DXY, we do see the DXY usually dump for about 1 or 2 days, even sometimes 3 days before, the major reversal comes in one more time. I think that's what's going to happen with the DXY. Obviously, I could be wrong. None of this is financial advice. It's solely my opinion. But so far, we are now reaching some sort of top on the DXY where I believe the DXY needs to reverse for at least 2 or 3 days of a correction, maybe even one, before we could have that massive momentum to break past the 104, which would actually be very bearish for Bitcoin, right? And for all those asking, John, what the heck does a US dollar have to do with Bitcoin, right? Well, unfortunately, the US dollar has a lot of influences to Bitcoin. That's the reason why Bitcoin's actually down. This actually caught me by surprise, right? I was thinking that the DXY was going to be on a red today. Stock market actually finished on a green. US 100 continues to make new highs. And I've been telling everybody on my live stream what I believe could be happening with the US 100. I do believe that we could go ahead and make new highs where, all the FANG companies, everything on the US 100 is going to continue to pump. Retail is going to go ahead and get wrecked as usual, and they're going to be left buying the tops, right? So where is the top, John? Well, I don't know. I don't think this is over for the stock market. I think there's going to be a continuation to the upside in the stock market as much as people are calling for a downtrend, and the same thing for Bitcoin as well. As much as people want to go ahead and dump Bitcoin at these levels, we do also have to consider that these are some very strong areas of support so far. So what I do believe could happen is I do see some potential of a short squeeze due to the fact that the US 100 will more than likely continue to make higher highs these next coming days. The DXY slowly retracing, not a major pullback, but it's going to go ahead and take 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days at the max of a breather to fill up its gas tank to make higher highs. And I do believe that because everybody's getting super bearish with Bitcoin, this will and could potentially break either $44,000 area and then get rejected, or what I'm thinking is potentially seeing Bitcoin reach $54,000 and then correcting back to this major area of support, right? We have been talking about in this channel for a while that my thoughts were for $32,000 to $33,000 Bitcoin, which is possible if we lose this area of support. But with that being mentioned, the DXY and the US 100 going up higher will cause Bitcoin to go up higher, right? Today just took a little breather, but right now we are still pretty well. We could go ahead and see Bitcoin just collapse from here, and we will go ahead and dump down to the $32,000 to $33,000 range, which I've been calling for about a 30% correction, which around this range it is from the previous highs of around $49,000. But if this is a short squeeze, is I think it's possible, and obviously, I do expect a lot of volatility in the market, so be very, very careful. We could see it approach $54,000, even slightly a little bit higher, 56, 57, and then if you go ahead and measure it from this top or bottom down to the $40,000 area of Bitcoin of support, that would lead us to about a 28% correction, which typically Bitcoin usually always has before a major move to the upside. If you go ahead and measure it here from back of 2021, we see Bitcoin at $43,000. Measure it down to this side, that's a 32% correction before we saw Bitcoin dump from $28,000, making higher highs all the way up to $58,000, right? And from this area right here, from $58,000, we saw a correction down to 26%, right? So far Bitcoin hasn't really had any major corrections from these areas right here. When I was talking about $40,000 Bitcoin, having a short squeeze. I think there's a similar case scenario, by the way. I'm not saying this could happen. I'm just letting you know, just be very, very careful. A lot of volatility will be moving in, especially with the fact that now, congratulations everybody, we have the ETF, which means Wall Street pretty much has us by the hand. Like literally they have the full control now since there is a Bitcoin ETF, right? And if you are looking to go ahead and trade these markets, make sure to go ahead and use my BingX link and MEXC down below, non-KYC platforms and Bybit, giving all the way up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses. And if you need a VPN for whatever reasons you need a VPN for, go ahead and make sure to use my link down below, 69% off with 3 months extra. But with that being said, we are also seeing these levels of greed approaching back up. Ideally, I would have wanted to see Bitcoin at these neutral to fearful levels, and it looks like we are still in this greedy territory, telling us that people still haven't given up. Obviously, we're going to get the update in about 59 minutes, but I think, you know, Bitcoin at $40,000 at the $40,000 range is a really nice area of support. So just be on the lookout for that. Obviously, the smaller time frames do change, so it's going to be completely different analysis, but there could still be a possibility that if we do dump at the levels that I mentioned and $40,000 is lost, we will be approaching $32,000 Bitcoin, which will then take a lot of the altcoins into altcoin season. As you see, we have been giving the signal that we are officially in altcoin season. I have been telling everybody on my live stream to be very, very careful, because we had this area right here back in 2021, I believe it was, where we were signaled, or yeah, right here. This was actually 2022, which was actually 2 years ago now. Dude, I'm so not used to it already being 2024, right? So back in 2022, where altcoin season was approached at 78% index, we did end up breaking all the way down to the downside, which we have to be very, very careful. But this could be a time to load up on the dips, not financial advice, loading up on the altcoins, loading up on your favorite meme tokens. And talking about meme tokens, one of the alphas that I've been telling my chat about since this token was at 20 cents was this token called Trump. This token, the reason why I was super, super bullish on was because of the circulating supply and the fact that, you know, you do have the US elections coming in this year of 2024, and it seems like this token has pumped literally from this bottom to this high over 800% due to the fact that we had this article from CoinDesk talking about Donald Trump vows to never allow central bank digital currencies, and it seems like everybody got excited. In my opinion, I don't think he has any control. The Federal Reserve has a control whether they want to issue a CBDC or not, solely my opinion. But as I mentioned to everybody in my chat, you have to go ahead and understand how human psychology moves, how people get emotional, and how people buy into emotions when it comes to these tokens, right? So with that being said, I hope all of you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for all those that are brand new to the channel. And as always, make sure to smash that like button for me. Comment down below what are your thoughts, and I'll catch all of you on to the next one. Take care.